Doc, congratulations. It's rare to see that type of emotion from you. I mean, we always see emotion, just not in that form. Why is it so touching that you took this group of guys in particular to the World Series?
I just think, I try to stay more even keeled emotionally, as far as on the emotional side, I guess, when I'm not yelling and cheering. I don't know. It's just been to see where we came, and I preface this by saying the job's not done, and we all understand that. But I think that, to start with the pandemic and a lot of things going on and guys not with their families and all the social injustice, it's been a lot of sacrifices from guys, and guys are uncomfortable, but still to kind of buy into the Dodge and what we're doing to win baseball games and to make such a difficult year in some instances positive in a championship year for the Los Angeles Dodgers and the city of Los Angeles. So had our backs against the walls and had to win 3 games in a row against a very good ball club. And so there's a lot of things that had to happen, and we did it. So I don't know, it was just a kind of all came together, and I was just really happy for our guys.
9th inning, it's a 4-3 game, game 7. Corey Seager said that was Julio's game to close out. Why did you continue to stay with Julio, who's obviously pitching very well, in that instance instead of Kenley?
Well, I mean, Kenley's been great. He's been absolutely great, and we wouldn't be on our way to the World Series without him. But I just think in that moment, Julio, with the day's rest, how he was throwing the baseball, in preceding days, what we asked of Kenley as far as usage wise, and just to kind of ride the hot hand right there. And, Kenley was one of the first people that came and gave me a huge hug and congratulated all of us and talked about winning 4 more. So that just speaks to him as a leader and as a teammate.
Is there a certain moment in this game that you look at as the momentum changer? I mean, 2 huge defensive plays with Turner to Seager there to get the double play, and then Mookie robbing the potential home run. And then you have a game tying and go ahead home run with an 8-pitch at bat. What moment do you choose?
I think I'll start with the first one. I think the double play by Justin off the, trying and coming in there to limit damage and getting that double play right there started it to kind of keep the game where it's at. Kike to tie us up, Mookie's play to rob a homer, and then obviously Cody. But the at-bats, the Kike at-bat, there's just so many good things. There was an at-bat I forgot, even with their starter where there was a couple quick outs, and then Justin took a great at-bat to kind of get that pitch, Anderson, to get the pitch count back up. That was a big at-bat that just doesn't really speak, but that was a big at-bat too.
And Will Smith also. What a great day for you guys, Doc. Congratulations. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Alanna.
All right, next question is Bill Plunkett. Bill, please unmute yourself and ask your question for Dave.
Yeah, Dave, the situation where Turner made that play, what did you have the infield at normal depth? They weren't playing in.
No, they weren't playing in. They weren't playing, but with the left-hander, we wanted him in. Typically, the opposite corner infielder will play in, and 2 strikes, and Markakis blocked the ball, and Justin just really heads up play and understand that we got to get that lead runner, and he did that. And the heads up play, the acumen that Justin has with baseball, just to kind of understand that there's the trail runner to get Riley at third base too. It's just huge.
Thanks.
All right, next question is Alden Gonzalez. Alden, please unmute yourself.
Hey, Dave, I know you guys map out basically every scenario in these instances, but having to use Blake Trinan already with nobody out in the 4th inning, what's going through your head at that point? And are you starting to worry about how you're going to piece this game together?
That wasn't part of the scenarios. I just felt that at that point in time, I just didn't think, the ball was coming out right with Tony as far as execution, and I didn't want the game to get away from us. And I just felt the best person at that time was Blake. And, if we were to get through that situation, we'll figure out a way to piece the game together.
And with Cody Bellinger, not just a home run tonight, but his at-bats throughout the series, he seemed to run into a lot of hard outs. What did you see from him this week, and do you feel like he's getting back to who he was?
I mean, Cody is as talented as any player in baseball, but I think that this postseason has shown him And he's learning really the value of controlling the strike zone and taking what they give you, trying to win pitches. And, you know, if there's a walk in there, take the walk. And if they make a mistake, you can still slug. And, you know, from Corey to Cody, they've really grown, you know, talented players, but what they're doing this postseason is another level.
All right, next question is gonna be Jorge Castillo. Jorge, please unmute yourself and ask your question for Dave.
Dave, you mentioned the Will Smith hit there against the shift. Was he trying to do that? Was he looking to go against the shift there?
Yeah, he was. And I think that what our hitting guys talk a lot about is understanding the game situation, controlling the barrel, and that was a shift. And so he got a breaking ball and he stayed inside it, stayed above it, and drove in a couple runs instead of trying to hit a 3-run homer. So Will's done that numerous times for us. And just for a young player to really understand that part of the game is pretty impressive.
A lot was made going into this postseason about the offense's performances, last year and all that in the playoffs. Is it fair to say tonight, with the way this series, the way you guys scored runs with 2 outs, the way you guys have 2 8-pitch at bats leading to 2 home runs, going against the shift, the things kind of went the way you guys envisioned?
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes it just comes with experience and I guess, to be quite honest, some failures. But if you look at how much Corey's walked, how much Cody's walked, it's more than they ever have in the postseason. And that's just kind of growth experience. And, you know, the coach is talking about it, the hitting guys, and then also the players really understanding and buying into it. But yeah, these guys have done fantastic jobs.
All right, next question is going to be Tyler Kepner. Tyler, go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, congratulations. I want to ask you, what do you think the biggest difference in this team is between now and the 18 World Series team? It feels like there's a whole lot more guys who play every day now and less matchups than before.
No, I don't think. I mean, that's certainly a difference. But that goes to the players have earned that. You know, when lefties are hitting lefties and righties are hitting righties, they've earned that. And I don't think in 18 there's a couple guys that didn't show that. I think that we would have beat the Red Sox if we had Mookie Betts. But you know, we've got experience, and we're playing good baseball.
All right, next question will be Tim Brown. Tim, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hey, Dave, you had similar situations leading off the 4th and the 6th with maybe a decision to make. The first time you let Jock hit against a lefty, the second time you didn't. Can you walk me through that process?
I just think the first lefty was just velocity, and it was a loopy curveball. And Jock, you know, I felt fine as far as that situation. Kike's spot might come up again. Jock's spot with a lefty or the righty might come up again. So I just thought it was a little too early to fire Kike. And then you get the next guy who can spin the baseball, which, you know, sometimes gives left-hand hitter a little bit more trouble. I just like Kike in that spot.
Great. Thanks. Good luck.
You got it, Tim. Thank you.
All right, next question is Pedro Moura. Pedro, please unmute yourself and go ahead for Dave.
Dave, you said both Bellinger and Seager are having their best postseasons in large part because of their improved patience, but Seager was almost like this all year, whereas this was not Bellinger's best season. How do you explain how he's turned on that capability specifically this month?
Well, just speaking of Seager, he's been like that, but I think even in the postseason, he's been better at taking walks when he needs to, being really aggressive in the strike zone, and the slug speaks to that. As far as Cody, you know, the surface line average might not speak to how good he's been, but spoiling pitches, the amount of pitches he's seen, taking walks, has been considerably better than he was this season. And that's just credit goes to him.
All right, and one last question from Dylan Hernandez. Dylan, please unmute yourself and go ahead for Dave.
Hi, Dave. you know, with Julio, just everything that he's kind of experienced over the years, both kind of good and bad, you know, coming in and out of the rotation, in and out of the bullpen and stuff. How do you think that all that led to the night that he had tonight?
Julio is very talented. He's very smart, and he's very tough. And, you know, we've kind of handled him over the last 4 years with kid gloves, kind of trying to build him up, and put him in different roles, some that he hasn't really liked and appreciated, which I totally get. But when it comes down to it, he just wants to pitch, wants to compete, and wants to help the Dodgers win. And I think as far as tonight, all that stuff, it was his moment. And for me, I trust him. He was throwing the baseball well, and I wanted him to finish that game.
Thank you.